Hey, you made it! Oh, you're here for the video, right? Okay, good. Well, please come on in. Come on in. I finally got the room nice and settled. I'm back home. Everything's done, and now that the room is ready and clean, I figured now would be the perfect time for a room tour. Now, before we get this room tour started, I feel we should be on the desk for a second, just for a little talk. When it comes to appearances, I find it to be something that's really important. Whether it be the outfit that I wear, the accessories, or the location that I'm in, I like to have some sort of purpose or meaning behind it. I don't mean that I always have a meaning behind every location that I go to, but anything that you can make it your own, I like for it to have some sense of meaning and stuff going on that people wouldn't either normally get, but you can know. That doesn't mean that every single location is going to have a purpose, but what I mean is like anything that I can customize, whether that be my room, my office, my dorm, etc. For instance, for this video, I decided to put something on that would be a little bit more fun and cool and retroness, all mashed into one to have this kind of nice room tour vibe. But at the same time, this whole room, you could also say, symbolizes my personality, myself, a combination of myself from years ago, years from now, and right now, all mixed together into this one big blast of themes and memories and items that all enter in this one place that I can call a home. So while certain things might be clashing, it's some place that I would say overall accumulates and just presents who I am, or who I was, who I will be, everything right there. A big space of me. I just wanted to get that out there and explain my purpose behind things, and just wanted to show a little bit of that sense of the thought that goes into whether it be how I construct or place things in rooms that I'm in, locations that I'm in, or what I wear in that sense. Which is why I wanted to give out a nice little room tour, because I had it all nice and organized, and I wanted to just show you all how it looked overall. But I like to have some sort of purpose, which I think is pretty cool. And if you can find some purpose, whether it be in the items that you end up having, your location like a room, or the clothes that you wear, I think that having some sense of you is really nice and just ends up adding an extra depth that I find to appreciate a lot more. But with that being said, let's get on to the actual room tour. Why not start off first with the desk? The desk ends up having a whole lot of things where the magic happens in some way. Whether it be from my first computer, my second computer that I recently got, this egg that I will eat soon, or the web shooters I got from my grad trip. We also have some pictures, some bobbleheads, a Lego set that I was given many years ago. I don't collect that many Legos, but I occasionally do enjoy one or two. We also have the ring light that I have in my desk. Quite a few hats, posters. You're gonna hear posters probably a bit right now, just because my room is filled with many posters. Speaking of posters, there's also a Back to the Future poster, which I just wanted to mention that I think that the Back to the Future trilogy is probably one of the greatest film trilogies of all time, possibly. We also have a whiteboard that has some notes from family whilst I was out. My desk is a main area where I end up working through. We have my monitor right here. We have a cassette recorder where I make some mixtapes. There's a lot that goes on right here, and this is a side where I'm doing a lot of things. Below, I see that we have a couple more items, such as a Wexler McGill gift that I was given from my girlfriend. Ooh, the Batman posters from Little Caesars. And we also have some board games. We have plenty of board games from chess, checkers, Clue, Monopoly, and more. And quite a few items. As you can tell, we also have some cards from the collection that I've gotten. I should also point out that on the right side, the bottom right side of my desk, you can also see a few more items such as the Marauders map, or a few items that I use for videos that I also got from Universal Studios. And also from this side of the corner right there of my desk, you can also see some popcorn buckets and a recent addition to this whole set, which is my Guardians of the Galaxy bucket that I got when I went to see Guardians of the Galaxy. As you can tell, there are quite a few items right here in this room where there's things going on. But actually, speaking of which, there are plenty of more posters that way that we should probably take a look at. So why don't we go do that? Moving on from this side of the wall, we have my cozy and comfy bed where I occasionally sleep in. But from there, we also have plenty of more posters that I believe end up representing things that I have interest in, such as entertainment. I'm a big entertainment, film, and television buff. I really love shows and movies. But in this case, been eventually growing more of a collection with posters. And right now, I have a Breaking Bad poster that my girlfriend gave me, an Infinity War poster that I also have, as well as there's a Back to the Future poster, and right next to it is an Avengers Endgame poster that I was given on the re-release when it re-released in theaters that says "We Love You 3000." Below it, we also have a periodic table that I made sophomore year of high school. Me and chemistry, we've had a relationship, I would say. And we also have some Disney Plus shows and actually the film Noelle posters that I was given at a Microsoft store for free, so we have that as well. And taking a small detour through this corner of the room next to my desk and next to the bed is this little corner right here where I have an old alarm clock, some drawers that have different sorts of items, whether it be paper, essentials, pencils, pens, highlighters, files, and etc. in that sense right there. We also have some JanSport backpacks that I've had, a couple more shoes, colorful assortment of socks, and below that we have my relatively small Funko collection, and then next to that is also my Lego set of the Batman Batcave, which I was given as a gift. And I just wanted to say it out here that I think that the Batman is probably my favorite Batman film right there. I personally really enjoyed it, but continuing more with this wall right here. Actually, moving on a little bit across from that, around here in this section, we have a banner of Ravenclaw Polaroids that I've had with some memories and a little drawing right there. The banner of my university that I go to, SJSU. We have some signs. If you've noticed, we had a few there, which are some street signs that were in the house even before when we moved in. I don't know where they came from, but they were here, and after a couple of years, I finally just put them up in my room. We have a couple more posters. We have a calendar there, and we also have a couple, we have 3 little paper posters right there that come with fun facts about turning 18, which I was given when I turned 18. And now moving across to that side of the wall, here is where you could say that a lot more stuff ends up happening. From having a collection of figurines that I've had since I was 9, another small desk, a drawer, another desk right there with the technology, television, a whole lot more stuff. There's a lot more areas that gets used. I mean, after all, I do use that side. So my bed is below the bed. There's still a couple more things. I have a couple more figurines on one side. We also have a variety of shoes under the bed, as well as a trunk and a boom box. There's a lot more things that I guess you could say are still around and hidden around this room. And obviously we have my other drawer right here that contains socks, as well as my clock, which I use right there for the morning, another lamp, maps, and then this is actually one of the first posters that I ever had in this room. And it's actually the oldest poster because I believe one of them I did take down a couple years ago now at this point. But despite all that right there, I guess you could say this area is a lot more things are happening. And it's this where the magic happens. By magic, I mean outfit, fashion, magic. So let's check that out. The closet. The closet is where I have a lot of my clothes. This particular side on the right is where I have a lot more of my more colorful, fashion, showy, presentable showmanship type of items of clothing. So up here we still do have pants and shorts and sweatpants and everything in that sense. But below here, this is where I have a lot of my colorful shirts, whether that be long sleeve, short sleeve, jackets, and then these are more suit jackets in that sense. And a few more items in the back, as well as hats. Hats are covered all over this room, to be honest. They're hidden in different spaces once in a while, and pretty much everywhere. But in occasions where, let's say, I don't want to be as presentable in that sense, and I want to be more casual, you know, going to a casual event and not somewhere where it's really appropriate to go full-on decked out in either semi-formal or full-on formal clothing. I do have my more casual clothing around the middle half, or specifically as well the left side of the closet, which we should check out now. So on the left side of the closet, we have a lot more casual clothes, graphic t-shirts in that sense, and a lot more t-shirts. This is also where I have my belts, and above it here, we also have a few of my school-related things that I no longer need, whether that be items from when I was in high school or just memories and souvenirs. I like to keep souvenirs and keep, I guess, some sense of a memory of either moments that I've had in my past. So it's nice to keep an area right there for that. And actually, speaking of more clothing, if we go down to this side, going down here, we have another drawer. Well, this is one of the drawers that was already mentioned, but actually what's inside the drawer is more items of clothing, which right now consists of ties. I really like ties, as you can tell. But as you may also notice, I like to also color coordinate my clothes. That way they're just more organized. I don't know. I like the way they look as well in that sense. But below me, there's another drawer that I should probably move my head for. So let's do that. And we have more ties. We have more ties, handkerchiefs, and 2 bow ties. But whilst we're down here, we might as well check out the figurines and a few more items down here. In case it's not made clear, I'm sort of a collector as well. Upon fashion and liking things in general, I like to collect things, whether that be books or technology in that sense. And in this case, I've been collecting action figures since, what, 2014? I've stopped after 2020 at some point right there. But the display has always kind of stayed. If there's an occasional new figurine or something that gets added, I'll put it into the display. But for the most part, it's basically just been this. So it's been nice just having all this right there. I also have my boombox, which I have placed as well here. I thought it was appropriate given Star-Lord, but I can also put in some cassettes right here and play some tunes. Let's move on. As I mentioned, I do have a mini library in the room, which is placed right under the figurines and the boombox. We have the Harry Potter series, Percy Jackson series. I used to be a big fan of the Wizarding World. I still am, but it's been a lot more controversial, shall we say. But we also have some papers and journals that I've written in the past, as well as a journal that I'm currently writing in. I have books placed all over the room, so we're going to go through another section where there's some books as well. But as of this section, I just placed a lot more of the books that I used to be a big fan of right here, and I just kind of left them right into the figurines as well. So I guess you could say in a way that this mini area right here is an area full of youthfulness, but we should probably move on to the next section, which I find a lot more currently used and pretty interesting, which would consist of the DVD and VHS section, as well as CDs and cassettes. We should probably get through that. So right here I have my VHS and DVD ones. We have a lot more in the back, which I'm not going to show yet. Maybe one day if I'm unpacking or moving, or if any case after the movie. If you guys want, I could put a YouTube short one day if I ever do that, and then boom, put that in. But right here we have my VHS Simpsons. We have seasons 1 through 5 on VHS. We have a couple Harry Potter movies on DVD, as well as Spider-Man and Marvel movies. The whole Breaking Bad complete series and DVD. And right here we also have a lot of cassettes that I have, some which are mixtapes, such as my Legendary Mix Volume 2 that I made a couple years ago. But we also have actual cassettes that I bought right there, as well as CDs, which I also have a CD player right there, because when it comes to listening to music, I like to once in a while use it through CD, Walkman, Zune, or phone as well at times. There's a lot of pros and a lot of cons as well in different forms of media, which I really do enjoy. And as mentioned, there are a few books as well here, and a lot more below there. But this area, I guess you could say, this is an area that gets used a lot more for entertainment, especially in the sense of music and in the sense of television. Right here we also have a Nintendo family computer system that I got at a mall once. It contains 620 Nintendo games all in one right there. Some, I believe, are pretty bootleggy at times, but it's fun. It does have some of the classics as well, though, like Super Mario Bros., which I really do enjoy playing once in a while. I'd say this is an entire more entertainment section of the room. But actually, moving on to that side, once again, in the closet. And beyond that, there's also a few more things below my closet in that sense, where I have a few more items, such as plushies, a droid that I have from Galaxy's Edge, more shoes, and a little bag full of romantic souvenirs that I've collected over a little over a year now. So that's a little bit more of the little nicks and things that are going on around here in this room. Now, I've done a lot of talking about lights also in the room, and speaking of which, we have LED lights. I know that they've grown a little bit out of fashion with some people in that sense, and I would say that the way that you use it is more important. In this case, I believe that the LED lights ended up giving the whole room a new vibe. Instead of it just being all bright, now it can be a little bit more cool and purple, and I don't know, a different entirely texture compared to if it was red or anything in that sense, which you can also change it to. Red. And that brings us to the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed the little room tour that I have right now. I'm sure that there are bits right here that I didn't show because I didn't show every single bit of the room, which, you know, plenty of surprises down the road. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. And also I hope that in the sense of this video, you grew a little bit of admiration, not just for my room, but for your room as well. I believe that a room should be somewhere where you can feel safe and comfortable, and even in a place where you might not call a house a home, you can call a room a home. If it's a dorm room, maybe you can make it your own as well. In any case, I hope that you enjoyed this video. As I've gone from editing, I've realized that I want to make something that's really special, or something that you at least find entertaining, and if you did, then at least my job in that sense was successful, and I'm glad that I did that. So, that being said, I'm just going to say thank you so much for watching this room tour, and it looks like I think your time is up, so I'm just gonna have to say that you can go now, but thank you so much for stopping by, and until next time.